Another interesting question we could ask is, what if the fixed rate k is given? So let's say it's a very high rate. Maybe the trade was done at an earlier date where rates were much higher than today. We could ask, what would the spread on the floating leg be such that the fixed leg equals the floating leg? So we are trying to solve the same question again. PV of fixed at t, let's put a little k here, equals the PV of the floating leg if we could add a little spread x to each of the LIBORs. So we are trying to create payments that have this structure, the floating coverage times the notional times the forward LIBOR rates plus some spread x. This will be the payments, and we need to discount them back. Well, we can actually realize that this spread, let's use some notation for that. The spread on the floating leg for the length of the swap, we can figure that out by just looking at the difference between the two legs. So if you look at the fixed leg minus the present value of the floating leg with a zero spread. So that's kind of a flat floating leg. And what we want to do is to figure out how much to add to the floating leg. So now we can use the basis point value of the floating leg rather than the fixed leg as we did for the swap to ask how to take that value, which is the difference between the fixed leg at k and the floating leg at zero spread, and spread it out across the entire floating leg. And this x will solve exactly that problem of equating the fixed and the floating leg.